Tapo D230S1 versus the Tapo D210. And the first thing you need to know is that these two aren't built for the same job, because one of them is really an indoor pan and tilt camera, and the other is an actual wireless doorbell for your front door. So if you're trying to see who's dropping off packages, picking wrong means you spend less and still miss the thing you bought it for. By the end, you'll know which one fits your setup. Let's get into it. So let's start with the thing that actually decides this one, which is what happens at your front door when someone walks up with a package. The D210 is a real wireless video doorbell. It mounts by your entrance, it presses like a doorbell, and it comes with its own chime, so the ring sounds inside the house. The D230S1, though, is where you need to pay attention, because the unit sitting behind that name is a Tapo C220, an indoor pan and tilt camera. It spins 340 degrees mechanically to cover a full room, and it does that really well for a living room or a hallway. But it doesn't ring, nobody presses it, and it's built for inside the house. For a front door setup, that's not a like-for-like alternative, and I'd rather say that up front than let you find out after it's mounted, which changes how you install each one too. The doorbell goes up wire-free, either with the adhesive strips or with screws in the mounting template, and it includes an angled wedge if your door sits perpendicular to the walkway. Buyers keep saying setup was straightforward, and the battery pops out for charging in seconds through the USB-C port. The indoor camera, on the other hand, plugs into an outlet and stays plugged in, so wherever you put it, an outlet has to be nearby. Different job, different plumbing. On image, both shoot in 2K, but they frame the world differently. The doorbell records at 2,304 by 1,296 with a 160-degree diagonal view, which is what gets you the head-to-toe look, so you see the person and the box they left on the mat. Owners say faces stay recognizable, even zoomed in. It also has a spotlight that kicks on with motion, giving you full-color night video instead of gray infrared, and its infrared reaches about 25 feet. The C220 runs 2,560 by 1,440 and sees roughly 30 feet at night, but only in black and white infrared and only indoors. And here's the part people underestimate. The doorbell's advertised battery life is up to 180 days, but real owners land all over the map, from a few months down to considerably less when motion detection is running hot. There's one opinion about the D210 that captures the good end of that range. I put it up in December in a cold climate, and it went about 5.5 months before it needed a recharge, even though it records constantly with all the packages we get. Other people report closer to 2 months, and the difference is basically how busy your entrance is. Point it at a sidewalk, and you'll be pulling it down often. The camera indoors never has that problem since it's always powered, though buyers there complain its AI tracking loses people or fires off odd detections, so I wouldn't count on it following anything reliably. That difference carries into alerts. The doorbell gives you free person detection and activity zones you can draw, plus ring call, which phones you when someone presses the button so you can answer without opening the app. It's a nice touch, but the recurring gripe is timing, because a battery doorbell has to wake up from its motion sensor first, and people walking straight at it sometimes get caught late or missed entirely. Some owners also see lag on live view and two-way audio, which seems tied to Wi-Fi placement more than the device. If you need every approach captured, that's the weak spot. Storage is where both give you the same escape from monthly fees. Each takes a microSD card up to 512 gigabytes and records locally with no subscription, and Tapo Care Cloud is optional on both. One thing to know is that the doorbell only records events, not continuously. So if you want 24/7 footage of your porch, neither of these does it. Setup runs through the same Tapo app on both. Both need 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and both work with Alexa and Google. On weather, the D210 is rated IP65 and comes with that 15-degree wedge. The C220 is indoor only, and owners who mounted one outside report clouding and rotation trouble. So where does the money go? The doorbell costs quite a bit more, and that buys the weather sealing, the chime, the battery, the wide head-to-toe view, and the spotlight. The indoor camera is the cheaper one, and it buys you room coverage that pans and tilts. Both need a card if you're skipping the cloud. Here's the call. If your door is the reason you're shopping, I'd take the D210 without hesitating, because it's the only one of the two that actually rings, survives the weather, and shows you the person along with whatever they left on the mat. The D230S1 is still a good buy, just not for this job. So if what you really want is to watch a room, a pet, or a crib from a plug in the wall, it's the cheaper way to get there. But if you're mounting anything outside your entrance, don't put that camera through it. And if your porch faces a busy sidewalk, budget for pulling the doorbell down and recharging it more often than the box promises. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Both are linked in the description.